Pretty beautiful down here. This little cove. You can see the seals out there just hanging out on the rock, enjoying the day. Not much of a dramatic landscape photography day. You know, I don't think sunset's gonna come around today. We're not gonna get any crazy colors or anything like that. It is very overcast right now. You know those urges you just get to go take pictures and you look at conditions and you know it's probably not gonna be amazing. You know, maybe it's clear out, maybe it's foggy or overcast, but you just have that creative inspiration, you know? I have a few ideas of how we can be a little bit more creative today and hopefully create some pretty cool, unique images regardless of the overcast weather that we're getting right now. There are a lot of really cool colors right here. There's just such a nice mix of different warm tones in these rocks over here. Some turquoise tones, a little bit of green, some blue. It's almost rainbow colored. It's pretty cool. There's all these different X-shaped patterns, little cracks in the rock. I think I'm gonna try and compose this. I'm not entirely sure how yet. Definitely some interesting textures in there. I'm gonna have to play around quite a bit. I'll probably shoot this at about f11 and maybe do a slight focus stack for this just to make sure everything is in focus. All right, we got one frame for the corner. I'm just gonna focus on each corner here. And then I'm gonna do one for the middle. I'm gonna have to get even closer to this texture right here because I really like that. Really like this bit in here. There's a lot of reds right here. There's these little lines of red that meet the cooler tones, and I think this little section right here would make for a really cool photo. So I ended up really liking the way this image came out with the different strange textures and the contrasting colors. To me, this image resembles some sort of reptile skin or even an alien life form. And I think this was the first image from the shoot that I was really proud of. Ooh, this is cool. There are all of these little rock pebbles stuck in the wall, all different colors. This would make for a cool photograph. I think I found something pretty cool. So there's this boulder. I'm calling it a boulder, but it's a pretty small rock. But it's just right in the middle of this little pool, and that rock formation right next to it kind of looks like a mouth, like a Pac-Man mouth or something. But as we go higher, and then maybe if we zoom in, see, that starts to look a little bit more interesting with the pools. I also got to watch out for my reflection here. This spot right here is going to be way too restrictive for a tripod. So I'm really just going to have to bump the ISO a little bit and do this handheld and really just playing around, you know, go around this little pool, play around with some lower angles down here, some that are higher up, just above the rock. Nom, 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 nom. This image was a lot of fun to capture, and to me it kind of resembles a dragon protecting their egg. You can see the dragon's head right next to the orange rock in the puddle, and the dragon's wings spread out towards the top left and the bottom left of the photograph. I also really loved those different warmer shades in the texture of the rock, and all those little X-shaped textures I felt like really helped to sell the fact that this could be some sort of dragon. These might not be the most dramatic images to capture while in field, but it's all about creating different worlds out of seemingly ordinary scenes. So here's another composition that is a little bit more pulled back, and you lose a bit of that dragon protecting its egg look when you pull back and reveal the entire puddle, but I still do like the way this image came out. I'd be curious to know which one of these images you prefer. Do you like the closer up one that kind of has more of that dragon look, or do you like this slightly pulled back wider shot? Let me know in the comments. After shooting that image, I found a really amazing rock wall to focus on, and here's what I shot. There was something so satisfying about the different jagged textures in this rock and the color palette here. And what I love so much about these images is they almost look more like paintings than they do photographs. I find these abstract compositions so fun because they're really challenging. They might not look challenging when you see a photograph of a texture and you say, oh, okay, that person just kind of walked up to a texture under some overcast light or in some shade and said, okay, here's the picture. But it's so much more than that. And I find it more challenging than shooting the more, wide vistas. And I think that's why I like it so much. I think that's why I get so much enjoyment out of it. So here's the formation. And I thought that this part right here, these little ridges, looked really cool. And I'm thinking what I'm going to try here is something at probably 30 millimeters here, because I want to remove the distractions out here to the left and in the background. Kind of an awkward spot. I can't get any further back than this. Well, sometimes doing these abstract shots, these close-ups, gets a little bit complicated. I wish I could do this handheld, but there's just no way. I want to get close to these patterns in here, and as you can see, there's some really nice swirly shapes. And what I love about flipping the tripod upside down is you can take the center column here and just move the camera straight down into whatever texture you're trying to shoot. I love how the rock has this cooler tone, and then these little stripes in here are kind of almost a little red. sort of like a deep orange. All right, there we go. 1/5 of a second for this. And I'm gonna focus stack the corners here. I loved those organic swirly patterns in this rock. This is definitely the closest composition that I had to shoot, so I got really close to the rock and did a focus stack of about 5 images to make sure everything was nice and sharp. Yeah, I'm running out of daylight. I'm still finding some really interesting stuff to shoot. It's just such a cool rock wall to focus on. And I've been playing around with some different compositions of this. And what I love so much about this specific rock wall is the deep, deep contrast between the cooler tones and the warmer tones, these strips of cooler tone that are matched with these deeper warm tones in here. And I also like right here, here, and here, these different bubbly shapes that you get in the warmer parts of the rock. The options and possibilities here are overwhelming, which is maybe a good thing that, you know, I haven't run out of things to photograph. It's funny that I'm at a beach technically, and I haven't even shot the water flow really. Okay, so this image ended up being one of my favorites, and I actually like this one for a very specific reason. That kind of turquoise color right towards the top middle of the image, that turquoise circle, sort of resembles to me some sort of antique diver's helmet. So it's like the glass part of the helmet and then the orange part around it. It's pretty amazing the things you can find when you look just a little bit closer at the things around you instead of just the overall place that you're standing in. I came away with some images that I was really proud of on this day, and I'm so glad I was able to share this journey with you all. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one.